Good morning and welcome to Carnation Crafts. Hope you've all had a fabulous weekend and you're ready back to get crafting. When you know I'm here, you know I've got something fabulous, and it's the latest edition from the Clean and Simple collection, the plus one. So you know when we do plus, it's always that little bit bigger. And this one's called Pretty Poppies, and it really is. There's 3 different colorways in the vignettes that you're going to get with this one, but you can see you've got, as always with the Clean and Simple range, you've got elegance, you've got beauty, but also you've got perfect alignment with your dies. In this collection you have got those beautiful poppies in there that we are so asked for, and just to show you, look how many dies you are getting in this collection. Nice big size, as you can see, so you've got that point of difference with these. You've got those lovely butterflies, you've got your poppies, you've got your decoupage layers in there as well, but you've actually got 3 different stances of your butterfly in there, so you can have it like it's flying away, like it's flying in, but you've got your banners in there as well, and all your mats and layers for $39.99. That's a fabulous price now for you to get this Clean and Simple plus. Mix it in with all your other Clean and Simple designs and things like that, but on its own it is a phenomenal collection to start with. Now normally with the Clean and Simple range as well, you know we do stamps. We have got a separate new set of stamps to go with the dies in this collection. So if you are wanting to build them, these are going to be fantastic. So you can have like well done, I'm so sorry, enjoy your birthday. You can add and put the words together. These are only $7.99, and size wise these have been specially sized to fit in with the Clean and Simple collection, but they are all separate and individual. You'll see you've got different fonts in there as well. Top quality stamps as always from Carnation Crafts. These are going to be beautiful to add to tags, but also to add in your cards as well. So for $7.99, that's a great price. $250,718 if you want to get that one on the website. Now let's show you some of the fabulous finished samples that we have got for you as well, and you can see these are absolutely beautiful. Look at the dimension and the shape of that. You've got that lovely archway that could actually be used to make a tag and things like that as well, but lovely to have on the front of a card. Look at that, using 2 of the bouquets of the poppies that's on there. You are going to get the butterflies like we said before, so you've got all of those, and you can see this is very pretty. You've also got your banner in the collection, so you can stamp on that, or you can use it like a lot of them have in these samples to wrap it round to make beautiful bows on your cards. Different colorways, so you can make it for different occasions as well, but look how well the stamps sit in there, and you've got those beautiful decoupaged flowers on there to give it that elegance, to give it that lift, and to definitely boost this up as well. But then add it on its side. You can see again you've got the grace, you've got the elegance with this one, the banners included as well in there, and you've got your mats and layers. So everything is done for you, precision alignment each and every time, which gives you a collection that is going to be beautiful for you to be able to have that. And you can see with these are going to make the most exquisite cards that you can make and sell with. So this is what it's all about. Now let's have a look at the boards to see what we are actually getting. Now as you can see, these are your vignettes. I've got 2 of the colorways on here. These are to download free from the website. As always, the artwork, remember these are all hand drawn as well, but having it with the Clean and Simple range, you know these are going to intermix with some of the other collections, but if this is your first collection off the back of this, you will come back for more. Now with this, like I say, you had the butterflies in there. You could tint these, you could add colour to them because of that beautiful soft white colour, so very pretty. Your decoupage layers to layer all the elements up so you can add dimension and that height. You've got your banner on there, but it does wrap around as a ribbon, and then you've got the extra pieces here which are going to be your mat and layers, but you can also use it as decoration or stoppers on your card if you want to make easel cards. You have got the little like kite, like the little window frame in there as well, so you've got all of those in this collection. But once it's put together, look how beautiful it can be. Perfect alignment with your aperture. You've got that lovely shape at the top, and I love that it's not too curved off. You've just got that soft point at the top, which obviously for a sympathy card, for a wedding card or something like that, for special cards, this has got that great detail. And as you can see, look, if I bring the pin flow in, they're a big size die. You've got a large size there to be able to use and make this into a fabulous, fabulous card. And that is everything in your Pretty Poppy die set collection. So let's just pop those to one side. Now, let's take out. So I've got quite a few different styles of demos in different colours and things like that. And we can show you how you can build this up and pop this together. Now with this one, these poppies are just gorgeous. Everybody loves them. I think it's a great time of year to start doing them. But with these, again, even if you cut them out in white, you could colour them in, you could have them purple, whatever colour. But look at the dimension. And remember, if you actually print off the vignettes, a little bit of spray adhesive, fold them in half, you've then got double-sided, so you can rotate these and use them in different directions. Now I've cut out 2 of the largest size ones, and this is going to give me, where have I put my other piece? Oh, I don't know today. Honestly, today I've lost it, don't worry. So all I'm going to do is put the next size on. I always put a crease line about 1 inch down, and this is then going to give you that little bit of a difference with your card, because it's going to support it. It's going to give it a card blank base shape. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer that onto there. But this would be great if you punched a hole in it and you had it like special gift tickets. Do you know what I mean? So for like a wedding, you could punch holes in it. You could have somebody's name on that, and that could be tied to the back of somebody's chair. That would look really pretty. Well, that my eyes are out. I'll be honest, I had a fall this morning, so I don't think everything's quite lined up yet with me. So I'll be honest, team, I'm sorry. So just popping this onto here. Now, this is what I mean about your apertures. Make sure they are all lined up perfectly. Don't just go sticking them down, Liz. You'll have one without the other and you'll be like, this doesn't work. Just check them first. I think that's more for my benefit than for yours. But just make sure you double check all of them and then align them. I think as well, it's got that front door look about it as well. So you could put like a little letterbox and a little brad handle. Yeah, it could be first home. Or if you wanted to, on your scoreboard, put score lines down it to make it look like a wooden door. You could do that as well. So it could be like a country cottage kind of card and things like that. I just think it's so elegant. And with the shape for wedding cards and things, thank you cards, again, the winner. We're clean and simple, they just get better and better. Look at that already. You've got decadence. It stands out already on its own without you having to do a thing. Now, what I'm going to do, now I've just had some news. You are going to have to be very, very quick with this one. Already 30% of this one, and we're only what? About 15 minutes we've been live, and already 30% of the stock. Thank you, everybody. I love it. And thank you to everybody who came to the Doncaster show, Crafting Live. It was amazing to see you all, and thank you so much. It does mean a lot when I get to meet you all, and it's not very often I'm allowed out, shall we say. So it is great to be there with the Carnation Craft team and to see you all. So thank you. But yeah, 30%'s already gone. So it's one of those, don't think about it. You know, when we bring one of the Clean and Simple, a lot of you do rush and get this. Now with this one, you can see I've taken that piece and I've just cut that off, because what we're going to do is have that slightly lower down. So we're elongating the design and the shape on there, but you can cut into it, you can snippet it, you can do whatever you want, and you've got that in there too. So all I'm going to do now is just shape these out a little bit. We have got ball tools and everything on the website. I tend to curve it out a little bit with my nails, so it's got that little bit of a curve to it to give it that fabulous shape on there too. So just adding this onto here now, and you have then got that lovely look that you can use with your products. Now, I'm just going to offset this slightly. Can you see? So it's given its own form of decoupage, but that's how they would grow and stack if they were actually in the garden. So I'm just going to move that across. So with that, it is beautiful. I'm just going to add a little bit of the leaves on there as well. And this is then just going to give that fullness. So all I've done is snipped into the leaves because I want it slightly off the page. And that again gives it that natural look, like it's actually growing on there too. Then I've got some more of the decoupage bits. We're going to fill this up and I'm going to curve these out. And this is going to give you that extra level on there too. So let's add that onto there. And you can see there, this is just starting to come to life. We've then got the extra pieces. And again, use these, or, you know, like if you wanted to, like I'm going to, just tuck them in underneath. Doesn't always have to be the, you know, the decoupage stacked on top of each other. I've always said to you, you do you. Don't be frightened to mix and match this in and add that little bit more elevation. Can you see how it gives it more of a fan shape? You've got that little bit more of a fullness. Like with that one, I'm just going to put that one into there. Actually, I'm going to move that slightly that way. And I'm going to tuck this one in there. So they look fuller. Because poppies, when they seed and they grow wild. They really do. So, you know, you can make yours look as wild as you want. Now, this is one of the banners. Okay, so I've cut the banner out. But all I've done is fold it a little bit like a frog shape. Can you see? So it's like a little frog shape. Because I'm going to fold it back on itself like that, because I want it to sit down here. So I've got my sentiment in this corner. I am going to use a little bit of wet glue, so let's just open this up and put a little bit of wet glue on here, and it just gives it a lovely look and a bit of shape and dimension as well, so things aren't so flat on your card. If you want to add a few gems and you want to add a few bits, you can see that. So this is just going to make this stand and protrude off the card a little bit. Just need to hold it for a second or two, but you will see once it's dried, it will then fold down. So you can get it in an envelope, it's not a problem, but then you've got that little bit of fullness on your card. Next up then, I'm going to put my little piece on here as well. Actually, where's the smaller one? There we go. So I'm going to take the smaller one. I've got foam on a roll, which is available on the website. I'm going to put a little bit of that onto there as well. And I'm going to add my little butterfly. And like I say, you've got them in all different stances. You've got them flying away, flying in. You've got the double winged one. I'm just going to use the single wing one. And we are just going to put that there. Using this, I do love the butterflies from Carnation Crafts because they're dainty. They're always those great filler pieces when you just need something, but they have got that grace if you just wanted to use them on their own. So I'm just going to have my little butterfly added there. But if you've got a few pearls, you could add a few pearls on there. You don't need a lot. So you can see then we have got a fabulous card from the Get Up and Go. A lot of you, it doesn't matter if you're new, if you're advanced, you know with the Clean and Simple ranges, these work for everybody. It will push you to different limits if you want to, but if you just want to use it as it is, straight out the packet, you know you're going to get a great card with that. It's one of those you don't have to think about unless you want to think about it. Make it easy, but make and sell as many as you want. And obviously for later on in the year for remembrance and things like that, this poppy card is going to be absolutely a winner for you as well as if you're making and selling. Just remember as well with this product, this is part of the Clean and Simple Plus range. These are the larger ones. Remember, 30% of the stock of these has now gone. It's a beautiful, delicate collection. You're going to get it in the 3 different colourways on there for $39.99. 250714, and it's available on the website right now. But remember, 30% of the stock has already gone, so very busy again this morning for the latest one in the collection. Now, also popular is the stamps that we've got for you. Now, these are fabulous. $7.99 just for a set of stamps that you could use with all your Clean and Simple collections and your card making projects. These are great. So if you're wanting to build your sentiments, you can do so. If you just want a one-word sentiment, you've got those too. 250718 for that one, $7.99 for those as well. So we've got everything on the website. Check out for card stocks and things like that. Everything is there waiting for you. Plus your vignettes. I would get across there, get your vignettes, use your Pro Print and print that off. We had a lot of people at Doncaster actually who hadn't tried the Pro Print, so that was really exciting to show them the difference. So if you're one of those people who tried Pro Print for the first time, message in, let me know how you've got on with it. I'd love to know. Now this demonstration, what I'm going to do, instead of having the card like that, I've put a score line down that side and we're going to use it this way. Okay, so again, elongating it, showing a different way of using this. We're going to put some foam on the roll on the back, and I'm just going to put this onto there. So just add this on here. Always elevate with it. You know, we have got the Elevate foam if you like to use that. I know a lot of people do, but this is the foam on the roll. This is specially designed to go with the widths on your Clean and Simple range. It's specially designed to fit in all those, you know, like when you've got the other frames and you need that little tiny bit rather than using all your foam pads. This is a great one to use. Make sure you put plenty on because you want it to be stable, you want it to be supported, and by using this will then give you that, so it's not sinking, because there's nothing worse if you've got a card and it looks like it's sinking in. Okay, so the next layer, the smaller layer, again with this one, I'm adding this onto here. But remember with these, once you start using them, you could actually put an extra hinge. Let's pretend, let me show you. So if you put a hinge, if you've got a piece of, say, 1.5 inch cardstock, scored it in half, you could hinge it onto there and then onto a piece of cardstock. So then you'd have like a gatefold and you could use it like as a gatefold card. All you'd have to do is just measure a piece of cardstock, the width. I know obviously this one's smaller than that one, but if you cut two the same, but then you could layer them up and you could have two that open up on there as well. You've seen the Z-fold card that we've got on display, that's on there, but mix it and match it. Don't be frightened to experiment, as always, because I always say to you, you know, your creativity will come from these designs. So now just adding this onto there. I'm just on there. Oh, we've had loads of people commenting. So, oh, tell me, Bunny. Bunny's with me this morning. Oh, Pearl says she's ready and she can't wait for this new collection. Oh, good morning, Pearl. Good morning, Pam Simpson on the design team. Thank you so much for all your fabulous designs. Miss Laura Williams is there this morning as well. Morning, darling. Hope you're all right and you're okay. Linda McLeod as well. She's there too. Thank you. And Jenny West. Good morning, all of you. Hope you're all okay. So we'll do some YouTube ones in a bit. So just bear with me. That's all those on there. So now you can see with my flowers, I've cut into them. Because again, I want to show you, like, you can make your kit go a bit further sometimes, because you know what we like, we tend to be a bit frugal sometimes, and if we can make more out of it, then we will. So all I'm going to do is I've stamped out one of the sentiments, and this one says happy birthday. I'm going to elevate this, and what I'm going to do is just pop that in there. A lot of the rest of it, you can see I've layered it up. You've got that definition there and perfect alignment. Clean and Simple will always give you that perfect look, even, you know, even when you think you're not sure, it will align, but that sits in there. It's got like that little bit of drop shadow in there. Now with the foliage that normally sits at the bottom of the flowers, what I've done is I've cut it and I've done like a little slit there. So what I'm going to do is just weave this in between there, so the flowers sit a little bit shorter in there. Okay, so this is going to sit just here because I wanted it to look like it's growing off the card a little bit. So back to the wet glue. So with this one, I'm actually going to stick this a little bit more flatter on my card. So let's just pop that just there. And then I've got my next piece again cut into this one, but you'll notice with this one, because I want it to sit a bit closer, I've folded it back on itself. Can you see? Yes, I could cut it off, but do you know what? I just thought, let's fold it back, but it's still there. So really easy to do, because I think sometimes it's nice just to be able to, you know, cut into bits and add different bits. So now, can you see how I've got that cluster? It looks like it's growing. So rather than it just looking like poppies growing, it's changing the look and the style of the flower just by the alignment of how you do it. So don't just think, oh, you know, would I use the poppies? Yes, you would. You'd use this all the time. And I'm thinking a little bit of glitter on there if you wanted to, just to add extra bits on there. But you can see they just sit so beautifully together. Then I've got the extra pieces. Again, I'm going to curve these. And with this, I'm just going to hire that. So I've got that dimension and that shape. Let me turn it that way. It's that way I need it. On there, that's going to give it that bit more fullness. I've taken another piece of the greenery because again I want to slot this in here and slot it underneath, and that is just going to then fill a little bit more of that corner, because I was thinking, you know, I want the fullness, I want that detail, so I'm just going to slide that up just a tad. And with this one I actually am going to use a little bit of my pin flare glue, and this is just going to be added in volume there just to that corner. Now to hide the stem that I've got, yes, I can snip it off, but I'm not going to snip too much off because the head will fall off and we don't want that. You don't want your head to fall off, I'm just saying. So now I've got this last piece, and then what I'm going to do is just fill this in on the corner. So again, it's giving that fullness. It looks like the flowers are growing up here. You can add different bits on there. Just let me just wiggle that about a bit so I'm 100% happy with it. There we go. And then we can add this at the bottom. So again, I'm not layering all these bits up. I'm just layering the elements that I want to add onto there. I'd probably put 3 little gems along the bottom and then just a couple at the top there. But then you can see you've got that shape, you've got detail, and you've got a beautiful cardigan. Simple, elegant, but giving you that detail on the corner to make something very, very different. So don't be frightened to change it up, use it upside down, add that detail to it, and that then, compared to the other one where you've got more stems and stuff like that, that's more like your clusters on your card. So using that on there as well. So let's show you some of the other examples. You know, if you've got bits from other kits, I want to show you that you can mix it up. So again, with this, because of the shape, it does look like a church window. A lot of you might have these dies with the rings on there. That swirl looks amazing on there with the butterfly. It says congratulations on there, but with the gold and the cream, look how beautiful that is. Now bringing in other elements, you know, so sorry, you know, it could be for a sympathy card. I'm just going to bend that one up because I've flattened it. But this is the butterfly and the leaves, but no poppies. But you can see with the blue and everything. But if you wanted to use it as a christening card as well, it would look great for that. Turning it on its side, you can see there, that could be like a best man's card. It could be, you know, celebration, 18th, 21st. You've got all of those there. But then if you just want to use the archway on its own, look how beautiful it looks with that doorway. I wish I had got one of them doorways. Then you've got the pots. That's a beautiful die collection. I've not seen that one. She's a bit bougie. She's got a shop in. I like her. The banner is from the collection I'm showing you today, and the butterfly. So again, think about adding the extra bits in. And look at that. The drape of those beautiful droplets or pearls that are on there, just with the flowers, you can dress that around that beautiful archway. And then with this one, look at that. They've not even used the archway. What they've done is use the shape of the card to dress it so that like the ostrich is wandering through there, which looks lovely. So really, really simple to do. Quick and easy and simple. And that's why the clean and simple is always so popular. This is going to give you a real point of difference with your makes. But if you're running classes and things like that, this could be a great one that you could do a class with and then let people freestyle with it and bring that in. But like I say, if you've never used clean and simple before, this is a great time to start experimenting, to try it, to be part of it. But if you've got all the others, and I know a lot of you out there do collect the collection, then this is just going to be an added bonus one to pop in with that, because you could use the different one. $39.99 for this one, all available on the website 250714. And if you get this right now, this will be more or less dispatched this afternoon immediately, because obviously normally when I finish the last show, the post people are arriving to pick up all the deliveries, so I know they'll be on the way. You could have this tomorrow, so just remember that as well. Now let's do another little card. This time I thought we'd do an easel card, so I've cut 2 of the large ones, and what I've done is just scored about 1 inch in, and then the piece that I got left, I always score that in half. Okay, that's just my measurements. You know I don't measure. If you've met me before, you know I'm not a measurer. But I always do my first bit, more or less where it's the shape stops. And then whatever I've got left, fold it in half. And that will give you equal kind of dimensions, if you know what I mean. I'm going to use finger lift tape on this. You could use your red liner tape, whatever you've got. You could pop that onto there. But this is just going to give a little bit of movement to my card. So just aligning this. And what I'm going to do is then press this down, and that is going to give us our shape for our easel card. So we've got that. Then I'm going to take my layers. Now I've got some of, this is the Perfect Papers, and I'm going to use some of this. Now I got a bit overzealous earlier putting my tape on, so I put tape all the way up. You only need tape halfway up. I forgot what I was doing. So I'm always honest with you, you know that. So then I'm just going to align this onto here, and this is just going to give me that pretty finish on there, because with the Perfect Papers you always get the perfect colours that are going to coordinate with old kits, new kits and everything else. So if you had a look in your collections, I bet you've got quite a number of cardstock from the Perfect Papers collection that you can bring into these. But if not, go on the website, have a look. There is so many different ones on there that you know you can use. Then I'm just layering these up again, perfect apertures every single time. I know if I had to try and do a diamond on a curve, that is just not going to work, even with the years I've been doing this. To have a die set that has been specially worked out for you, that will align and give you every bit of detail that you need to get a fabulous finish. Look at that. The dimension, the shape you're going to get with that is going to be absolutely stunning. Then I've got the Happy Birthday from the stamp collection. I've got one of those, and I've also cut out, because remember the triangles that you take out are like waste bits, and you can use those as well, because that's what I've done with this one. So what I'm going to do now is just take my beautiful poppy again, just curving the petals slightly, working this in to give it dimension. Now I am going to take a little bit of the stem off, but I never cut them straight. I always cut it at an angle, because that's what you do with real flowers. So at an angle as well, it does draw the eye down, but it gives it that little bit of detail. So look at trying those as well. But this is going to be fabulous. I'm using glue gel, but you know you can use your foam pads and things like that. It just makes it a little bit more quicker presentation wise for you at home, rather than you see me peel the backs off. But you use whatever you want to on this. But the detail, you can see the cut lines in this are so fabulous, and the realism to these is amazing. It really, really is. Even if I turn it over, you can see you've got those little cut lines in there to give it texture. The detail never looks flat, because the shading that have been done, and remember, hand-drawn, bespoke images that you have got with these are just, you know, they take your breath away. We had so many people at the Doncaster show that were saying, I can't believe how beautiful they are. People, there was one lady, sorry, I can't remember your name, and it was the first time she'd ever sold one of her cards, and a friend, I think she's got a jewellery shop or something, and a friend asked her to make some cards, and she was like, oh, I'm not sure. People were blown away by her cards. She made, I think it was for an elderly gentleman, for his partner or somebody special, a beautiful card, and she showed me the pictures. Amazing. Don't forget to go to the Facebook group as well, and make sure that you join the Carnation Crafts Clean and Simple Facebook page, because everything is on there for you as well, for your inspiration and things like that. I don't mind if you copy mine and you make and sell, I'm fine with that, but obviously with the design team, please give them a credit for theirs as well. Now 40% of the kit has now gone. We are halfway through the show, so honestly 40%'s gone. You know, we have an hour in between, and then we will be back live at 1 o'clock. But look at that, just add in the shape at a different dimension. Just by rotating it, you can make like that star shape as well. And then you have got that lovely card. And if you're finding your cards aren't standing up too well, give them an extra crease on there. And then your card, hang on, let me do this. You could do an extra stopper if you wanted to, but if you give it a little crease, you will see then your card will stand. But you've got the butterfly for elevation. You've got, you know, your florals on there. And florals are always going to be the cards that sell the most. So make sure you get this collection because it's such a beautiful collection for you now to have, and add that with your collection. Now, the collection is the new Clean and Simple Plus. This is Pretty Poppies. 40% of the stock of this is now gone, and this is the very, very first show. So when the first show's on, you know it is your time to grab yours, because with overnight repeats later and things like that, people coming back in from work, this will fly. $39.99 for the large Clean and Simple. This is the Plus collection, 250714, and this is Pretty Poppies. But check out the website and make sure you get your vignette downloads as well, because everything is on there for you to be able to use. Now you can see the stamps. These stamps have been specially created if you wanted to get these to go with any of your Clean and Simple collections. These are going to be great. These are $7.99, 250718. So if you've got your basket open, pop these in, and these are going to be a handy extra to use on any of your projects with carnation crafts and things like that. You might have some of the smaller tag dies and things like that, sentiment ones. These will just be incredible. So a brand new launch for you there as well. Now let's have a look at the collection. As you can see, I'm going to bring this in again because it shows you size-wise. These are big dies. With the Plus ones, they're always slightly bigger. You're going to get all the mats and layers that you're going to possibly need. So you can use it without the aperture. You can use it with. You've got the mats and layers to build this all together, which will make it really, really simple. Then you've got the floral elements on here too, and these are a good size as well. So on your cards, they are a statement. You can build them up as a bouquet, and you can do that. Now, if you are wanting the size and measurements, have a look on the website. The sizes are on there, but like I say, I always try and use something so you can, a lot of you have got your pin flare glue. You know what size that is. Now, with that, you've also got your banner here as well. You've got the extra mats and layers if you're wanting to use those, but then you've got this fabulous like kite window design, which is beautiful. I can imagine this as a church window. It could be in a door. It could be literally you just got a wreath die and you want to pop that round there. That is just going to look fabulous. All specially designed, so you know the layer on layer each and every time is absolutely perfect. Now with the artwork, you can see the detail, the shading, the way these have been done is absolutely incredible. And I love that the red on there isn't just one solid red colour. You've got the tones on there, you've got the highlights, you've got the little cut lines, you've even got the extra layers to actually decoupage these up, and then the butterflies. Different stances you've got on there, and then you've got that beautiful white butterfly that is sized to work with this collection, but also a lot of your other collections from the Clean and Simple range as well. Everything is so well thought of, because can you imagine if you had a big massive butterfly on there? It's not going to work right. Everything size wise is done for that collection, and you can see with that when it's all put together how beautiful. You've just got that little bit of a drop shadow there. But if you wanted to, you could use it to the side like I did, just to show you. Use it to the side. You could use the aperture to put your sentiment in, but you could also then use it to make it a focal point on your card. So different ways of using it to really give you that. Now I'm going to show you a few more finished samples so that you can see. And you can see there, happy anniversary. Everything else has been built around that with the butterflies just tucked in to give it that design. Again, using the banner, you can see here, just that soft effect, but the layering is just incredible on all of these. Use the same banner, twist it round, hold it with one of the enamel darts on there, and that again, an incredible tag. I'm not being funny, you can make some beautiful bookmarks with this as well. So that would look beautiful as a gift. But as a tag, like I say, to a wedding or something like that, that would look beautiful. You've got your banner, you've got your sentiments in there, but these are so, so gorgeous. Shall I show you a couple of different ones using different ideas as well? So we'll do that. I'll show you these two. So you can see with this one, we've got that lovely detail on there. The little mice on there, how cute are they? But I know a lot of you have got the little ducks, the little mice and everything. You've got lots and lots of different designs. But this one is very, very clever. Multiple layers and then cutting out with obviously the original die, but then using the extra dies, these ones, so using that shape to start with, but then using one of these to put this on here to cut that shape out. How beautiful is that? That is stunning with all those little beautiful butterflies, but that will give you that lovely finish. So honestly, so busy for these. It's an incredible collection. As always, each and every time we get a new Clean and Simple Plus range, they just get better and better. And you can see with that one as well, one the finished example, they've actually put behind the window a collection and laid up all the print offs as well, so it looks like a pattern paper. The colours radiate through. You've got your mats and layers, because there's nothing worse if you're making a card, you haven't got the mats and layers, you haven't got the focal point, you haven't got the sentiment to make this work. With this collection, you have now got everything in the packet apart from cardstock. You are good to go, because with these you can add those in. So $39.99 is the show price today, 250714. But do remember, we have got the coordinating stamps as well, so check out the rubber stamps as well, top quality, great size, $7.99 to use with those as well. Now let's make a card. Let's do this. So with this one, a little bit different. I've got the large one here, and we're just going to add this in. So this is the back, that's the front. I've done it. That's where the other piece was. So two the same size. Again, I've scored probably about 1.5 inches with that one. I tend to put it once the shape drops away, because if you do it too high, it's going to be too flimsy and your card's not going to have that support. If you score it further down, obviously if you're going to put it there, then you're struggling to write. But if you just put it down where the shape then starts to curve off, that will give your card that strength to stand up. So I'm just going to take this. Oh, we've got more comments coming in. Got Jackie. Good morning, Jackie. Oh, she thinks it's wonderful. Thank you, Jackie. That's lovely. Oh, Joanne as well. She got hers last night, so hers will definitely be on the way today to you. Oh, fabulous. Steph's been in touch. She says good morning, so good morning to you. Oh, she's got hers as well, so well done. Oh, she says thank you for all your hard work. Honestly, I can't really call it hard work, if I'm honest. I'm gonna take one for the team. The team works so hard to put these kits together, designing them, like Bunny, who's with me today, my producer, but she's also one of the head designers. I get the lucky job of coming in and making stuff with it, and believe you me, it's an absolute pleasure. So it's not hard work, if you know what I mean, because you know you're always going to be able to make a fabulous card. It is just a bit of fun, and it's just taking your time and enjoying the process. So all I'm going to do now is then just add in the top layer. I'll try and keep my big head out of shot. There we go. So you can see there, then you've got all your mats and layers. That's going to work on there. Now I've taken one of the top layers, but what I've done is folded it, okay? And what I've done is I've created a little bit like a wonky W. Can you see? Because what we're going to do, I've added foam pads on there. This is going to sit on the top of the card, so it actually protrudes out the top of the card, giving it a different look on the top. Because again, sometimes I like to be different. I like different shapes on my cards, but this will come with practice. This will come to you when you just have one of them moments, you think, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it look different. You really can add in a little bit of personality to your cards, and that's what it's about. So I'm just folding that under, but then can you see that just stands away? So it's like you've got a little picture frame on top of your card. a little bit different for you. Then I've got one of the actual banners, but I wanted to make this slightly smaller, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so just cut off the pointy bits, but I want the pointy bits back, if you know what I mean. So I've just cut this down a little bit more. To make the pointy bits, snip into it. Can you see down the centre? Then what you're going to do from the outside to the centre, you're going to go back in, and that will make your points. So then you've got your points back on your card, so you can add that onto there too. So a little bit of wet glue. Oh, we've had a message from Josephine. She says that she thinks the shape make a good Christmas card. I think it would as well, because again, it reminds me of church poppies you could get away with. I must admit, Josephine, I think you're spot on with that one. I really do. What was wrong with me? Honestly, I've stamped on some, and then this one, it's plain. But just imagine. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I have got no idea what's happening in my life today. Honestly. I won't mind, but I did these the other day, so I don't know what's occurring here. I don't know. But I think it's because I was putting stuff in bags, and then I've bagged them up, ready, my demos, and then I thought, oh, I've not done that one, but I've bagged it up ready. But you'll see with the shape, white on white, it just looks beautiful. Do you know what? We're going to rescue it. Instead of having a sentiment, I might put one of the little flowers on there. So there is always a rescue mission, so don't worry. We can always do it. So let's add this onto here, and that one I'm going to put just there. I think that works. So we've got round it. But don't forget, don't be like me. Get your stamps, pop them in your basket, and then you know they will be there with you. So you've got everything for when you start. Now with this poppy collection, again, I cut into this and I've used 3. Okay, because I wanted it to look, like I say, when I took this in, I want it to look like they're growing out the card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just snip off a few of these little bits, and I'm going to position them in my hand, a bit like as if you were doing a display or a bouquet yourself. I would honestly say to you, display them in your hand first, how you want them to sit, because you'll find it a lot easier, because sometimes trying to do it afterwards, it can be a challenge. It really can. So what I'm going to do is just hold that together. I am just going to squeeze these down slightly, like I showed you before, just to make them different heights, so they're in there. Then what I tend to do is grab my glue, still keeping them in the stance that they were, and I'm just going to glue these together, because I know as soon as then I try and put them in, they're not going to sit where I want them. So let's pinch and glue first. So that's like my bouquet, and then I've got that little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to use my pin flare glue on the back at the bottom as a base, so then I have got a bit of wiggle room, but then I can position them and put glue behind them to make it work. So just adding my glue there, you can see these then just feed into there and look like they are growing out of there as well. So just adding that into there and working that. Oh, hang on, just let me glue dry. Patience, Dawn, patience. Now, something I'm not good at, I'm not going to lie to you all, I am not good at. Then I'm just adding a bit of my pin flare, and this again is just going to lift these up, giving it that dimension on there. Yes, use your foam pads if you want to, you know that. You do you, boo. But I'm just adding this onto here to work this in and give it that little bit of shape on there, just holding that. So again, looks like it's growing out. Now the other one I cut off there, I am going to actually curve this around my fingers, because I just feel it just needs that little bit in there. And then all I'm going to do is just tuck that in there. Can you see? So it just looks like as if it's got red wrapping paper around it. So it gives it that little bit, and you see on there, so it looks like it, and it just then like separates the card a little bit and gives it a detail. Then I've got my butterfly again, just holding the centre bit, the body, and just curving that round my finger. That's just going to elevate that too. Then a little bit of pin flare glue on there, and what I'm going to do with this is just add the butterfly on the bottom corner there. So now we have got a totally different design shape card with a little bit more dimension, a little bit more shape on there, but you can see it gives it a different look. Again, And that's what I like. I like to think it's got a different shape. It's just, hang on. Honestly, today, they're all misbehaving for me. Can you see you've got that look? But if you wanted to, you could make this. And you know, if you like, you got one of those little tiny calendars, you could put a little calendar underneath it. So you could actually make it as a gift. And you've got those beautiful poppies on there. Oh, dear. And you could have your calendar on there, and then you could use it on your desk all the time. So it's a gift as well as a card as well. So let me just bend that so that now stands up. There we go. It's playing now. Now you can see with these, each one is different. We've used different colorways. We've used different styles and shapes of card, but each one will look different. And with the flowers, like I say, you can make little clusters, you can make little shapes, you can make designs with it. You might just want to add one little flower on there, or you might want to, do you know what? Today, honestly, let's add this. I'm gonna put one of these little stoppers on this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it do what it's supposed to do. But yeah, Bunny's like, I've got another hour with her. This is wild today. Poor Bunny, bless her. She don't know what she signed up for when she got me. So just add this. Is it Laura who's naughty? Is she naughty? Oh, I like that. Wait till I see her. All right, so now you can see that's how the cards can be. And everything, for me, is shape. I don't like flat. I like something that's got volume. Your card style might be totally different, but try it. Work it together. And this kit is just going to give you that vision. It's going to give you the confidence and the knowledge of knowing you can make lots of different things with this. Like I said to you, you could do it as a gatefold card. You could do it as a Z-fold card if you wanted to. But each and every one, if you just want to add a little bit, you want to add a lot. But you can see that, to me, they look more like the gerberas from a distance. They've got that fullness to them. But then the one next to it, we've got the length on there as well. So really, really great on that. Let's have a look at the other design team members' cards, because they have made some incredible cards as always, and they absolutely blow me away. You can see there's somebody else had the same idea of, you know, shaping it up, making them look shorter. Like, to me, they look like carnations, but that's just me. But you can see there, at a difference, you could actually have like a fantasy flower if you wanted to. But look at that, those shading on there, because they're not just one colour, you've got that blend and that shade right through. And then, so that's the pink, then you've got these beautiful yellow tones. And can I just say, normally in roses, if somebody buys you roses or yellow flowers, that's a sign of friendship. So a beautiful friendship card, things like that, this is going to work really, really fabulous. Again, look at the soft, they've used a soft baby blue Perfect Papers with that pink, and that, it makes it look like a blue-grey. It looks so, so pretty. Again, it's down to the shading, it's down to the artwork, plus as well, it's about the quality of the mats and layers you've got with that perfect alignment each and every time, that perfect shape that is going to give you that lovely, lovely look. So again, you can see how different this will look. Amazing. If you have just joined us, thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you all with me. If you've just missed out and you think, oh, what are they? Let me show you. This is the Pretty Poppies die set collection. These are the large ones, the plus ones, and the plus ones are always bigger. You're going to get that fabulous size. You've got plenty of area to be able to, you know, mat and layer, to add your embellishments, to add your details in there. But you've got these special pieces that are in there that help with this synchronicity when you die cut it, to give you that perfect aperture. So every time you do, I'll show you on this one, you're going to get that beautiful border all the way around. You haven't got to look at it and think, oh, that's not right. It will give you that. Same with the edges. If you struggle with matting and layering, these are always the ones to go for. You will get your vignettes, which is the coloured artwork. So if you're not a colourist, you're somebody that likes to make lots of cards quite quickly, print them out, lay the die on top of the printout and cut it out. That is what it's all about. You can see you've got the butterflies on there too. sentiments are separate with this collection, but do have a look on the website. I'm also going to bring in as well so you can see the different colorways. So you've got this colorway in the yellows, and then you've got this beautiful pink and red tones, and then you've got that traditional red finish. With this, if you wanted to, you can get like the little black beads. I would add those to the center, or little gems and things like that, or even embossing powder. Water droplets on there, bit of glitter, whatever you want to do, it will look amazing. The butterflies, I do feel you would use each and every day, and because these are a long stem one, with any of the Carnation Crafts other dies that they bring to you, these are going to slot in and be positioners if you know, making a wild garden look. You've also got those beautiful mats and layers, and then you've also got the banner as well. $39.99 for this one. This is your show price, $250,714. And this has just been a phenomenal hour. We've been so busy. Now with this one, bear in mind 40% of the stock has now gone. This is the only first hour. We will be back at 1 o'clock with another hour. Get your comments in, get your ideas in. I'd love to hear from you. Well, me and Bunny would both like to hear from you. So get your messages in. But just want to say a massive thank you. Check out those baskets on the website to make sure you don't miss out on yours. See you later.